morning, everybody. I'm Sergeant D. Haynes, Sports Information Specialist here at East LA College, and welcome to another episode, a second episode of Live from the Den, your East LA College Athletics podcast. Except we're not in the den right now. We're actually in the women's gym, E9 or the North Gym, because we've got badminton action going on. Just to show you here, Huskies are taking on Pasadena City College in badminton action. We figure have the opportunity take to talk to you guys. It's our first time getting to catch up with them, and we're also gonna have Cleve Wynn, their head coach, come on in a couple of minutes to talk to us and give us the rundown of the team so far. They've usually they start their season in February, but this year they just started the season at the top of the month here in March. So they haven't had a lot of action, but Coach Quee just told me just now that they have a lot of players right this year in previous years, so they'll be able to compete at more matches, which is a good thing. So we're gonna get to him in a second, but right now I want to just go through a couple of things that we've been it's been transpiring over the past week and a half. I was at track last Friday down at Orange Coast College for the Coast Classic. Got our first in-depth look at the track team. Anyway, so we're gonna have an interview with Coach Milton. Milton Brown after at the end of the meet, give his thoughts on how his team did. All right, here with track and field head coach Milton Brown. You talked a little bit during this meet here this afternoon about your depth, improved depth, and it showed today. You got some wins here. How do you feel? Talk about what did you see? What you like today?
Well, it's a progress throughout the season. So I think trying to get better as every meet. This is really our true second meet. We had some other competition, but they were more like prep meets.
Okay.
This is our really second meet, and then coming off of 2 weeks of training, it's a good start. Now we have another meet next week. So
down in San Diego, yeah.
Yeah, we did some positive things. So we had a couple wins and a couple of good performances. I think Jasmine did pretty good in the 5K straight off my head, and Justin in the triple. I think
you said he won the triple jump. Oh, nice,
and,
nice.
I think Ponce and Adam did pretty good in the jab. They both went over.
It was fun watching Ponce run the 100.
Yeah, that was a highlight. That was a highlight.
You said he wanted to do it, right?
So, we gotta have fun too. I think we had some PRs in women's discus too.
Okay.
We had 2 PRs, right?
I think did one of your ladies race in the 5,000 beat her time? I think it was like 16:50. She came in 16. I gotta double check.
5K?
Yeah.
No, she went 19 something.
Okay, 19. Okay, 19.
I think that's the first time her running the 5K.
Okay.
So that was good.
Okay.
But I think we had some good performances. The sprints weren't as performance like we expected, but I think next week I think just another week of competition will help them get into competition shape.
I know from stuff that you told me in the past, obviously there's a lot of tactics and technique. It's not just about speed, because you had some guys that had in some of these sprints they had they had the lead up until maybe the last 25, 30, 40 meters, and then it kind of got passed up right at near the end there. So what type? So is that a technique thing?
I mean, sometimes it's a mental thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, but I think sometimes once you run a certain way, you can go back. Okay, I did, because the finish could be based on what they did on the other side of the track. If they ran like a 400, so we could say, okay, you pushed too hard in the back, so now you gave up the finish. So it depends on when we go back and talk to the athlete and kind of analyze what they did. We can kind of fix it for the future.
Okay. Oh, so Marbella made it down. That was good. It was always good to see her.
It's good to see her. Yeah, she came down to watch. She's on spring break, so
okay.
So she's home. So
nice.
She's still at home here, so that's really good.
Yeah, you passed that along to some of the players. All right, Bill, I won't let you go. I know you got a bus waiting for you, and I got to go try to find the results and everything and probably get some dinner.
All right, man.
All right, man, take it easy.
All right.
All right, so hopefully you enjoyed that little interview with Coach Brown. Also, a little later, we're going to air an interview with assistant coach for women's wrestling. Women's wrestling had their quad dual meet, is the only home meet of 2026 before their annual tournament next month, as Chris Nunez, our wrestling guys, that's listening, and Ted. And so right now, I'll just show you some badminton action, and we'll get into the interview with Coach Queen in a second. All right, we're back, and As you can see here, we got Coach Quee here for women's badminton. Coach Quee, what's going on? How you feeling?
Doing great. Doing great. This year we have a a lot of brand new girls, but they're very determined to practice and they're just having fun. And by far this year we have total of 14 girls on the team.
So tell me, usually the season starts in February traditionally, but this year it started in March. What was it because of the subtraction of teams from last and this year?
Yes, definitely, because Compton and El Camino are out. So that's why the games are shorter. We have less games this year, but we try to anticipate to play more games up north.
And so does that open the door for some of your players to be able to compete and less teams, less competition to try to qualify for state?
Yes, basically it gives more opportunity for us to be qualifying for state because two teams are out. But at the same time, competing where we have scrimmage games against the up north, which gives our players more opportunity to play more advanced. And then at the same time, up north players are more. Well, what's the word I'm looking for? They're more challenging.
Challenge.
Yes.
So what do you think it'll take for this team to perform the way that you took it?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, majority of our girls are new, and by far since when I met them last summer, I mean, still right now they have make a big impact on the team, and they have improved tremendously. So at the same time, my goal is for them to improve the game, get better, learning team etiquette.
Good, good. So, all right, well, we're gonna stay here. We're gonna watch some of your latest action here, and if you want to hop back on with us later, we'll record for them a little more. You're more than welcome. Thank
Thank
you.
you, thank you.
All right.
This is our number one game.
Okay.
And our number one, she's pretty much a tribute.
All right. What's her name?
Her name is Yo-Yo.
Muriel.
She's our number one player.
Okay. So let's watch Uriel here. Coach Quee telling us that Uriel's their number one player. Team Defense has a little kind of off and on over the past several years, especially post COVID. Really did a number on participation levels for badminton. We used to have our own conference. We used to have 4 or 5 teams in our conference, and post COVID that shrunk to the point where we had to join forces with the San Diego area schools to kind of reform the conference. Uh, and even with that, as her coach said, that two teams that subtracted Compton got rid of their team, and El Camino, fortunately, their longtime coach passed away last year. They finished out the season, but it sounds like they decided to suspend the program. Badminton is unfortunately, that's just a sport a little on the rocks as far as state is concerned. So we have to see after this season if JC2A continues the sport as a sanctioned sport here in the state of California. Still here with badminton, but now it's time to talk women's wrestling as we have our wrestling professional and expert Chris Nunez with us. Chris, women's wrestling, interesting. We were there last Thursday, the quad duel, and initially thought the Huskies split the duel, the two duels. Thought that we initially lost to Quester, but beat Lamore. Comes to find out, selfish plug, why it's good to have an SID, is that after going through the scores a couple of times and reviewing the score sheet and talking over with Coach Solis, Huskies actually won both their duels. They did end up beating Cuesta. Narrow victories in both 17-16 team win over Cuesta and then 26-25 win over Lamore. Huskies win it was 25-25, but Huskies won the final tiebreaker. So now we'll get to the assistant coach's interview and we'll a little highlight package in a second. But you were there with me. Your thoughts?
Um, there was a couple matches.
Mm-hmm.
We probably could have won,
Yeah.
but overall, I think they wrestled good. We'll see. I think there'll be a lot of improvements after that. They got more part today, 6 o'clock. I think we lost some earlier in the year. So we'll see if we can get some of the losses kind of avenged.
I'll say this. Coach Shalice told me that he feels the team needs to learn how to compete as a team. He said they do well in the individuals, but when it's a team score matter, he said mentally they still have to adjust and learn how to perform it with that type of stress.
Yeah, because it is a little different. You don't want to get your team points, but you also kind of want to worry about yourself, make sure you're doing your right things. So it's hard to balance, but it could be done. Because freestyle wrestling, they have a different scoring system than men, I guess, folk style wrestling, what the men do, and specifically dual meets. So you actually get even though if you lose your match, you can get your team points.
All right, so let's take a look back at last Thursday. I got a little video package, including the interview afterwards. We'll take a look at that right now.
Look, wait. I got people trying to wish and pray that I'ma fall about it till we spoke in person. Don't wanna talk about it now, huh? Oh, you sound tough, toying with them, don't get wound up. How you wound up? Another number in the round up. Put the town up, I built this thing up from the ground up. And if I bounce up, I get my crown stuck. Green light go, got the east side flow. I'm a giant in the space like FIFA4. All the kids sing along like EIO. Every time when they see my show, thinking that it happened overnight. Yeah, didn't. In it for the long haul flight. Look, wait. I got people trying to wish and pray that I'ma fall about it till we spoke in person. Don't wanna talk about it now, huh? Oh, you sound tough, toying with them, don't get wound up. How you wound up another?
Here with Assistant Coach Kelly with women's wrestling. Just got through with our quad duel here at the arena. What's your quick impressions on how the team did today?
Yeah, they did pretty well. Out of 2 duels, we won 1. Probably not our best performance, but we'll sharpen it up.
All right, and whose performances tonight for the Huskies stood out to you?
I'd have to say Brittany at 131s. We ended up upping her up to 138s. She probably wrestled the best I've seen all season. And Drea, better wrestling today.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Coach.
No problem.
Chris, being the wrestler that he is, he's not a big believer in the honor system. Let's be honest. I'm called. Yeah, you're getting called out here.
I'm just curious to see
Uh-huh.
honor system in college sports.
You didn't grow up with the honor system. You grew up with well, badminton, as you can see, is a different sport. And so, yes, they have the honor system when it comes to scoring. And Chris was just asking me if they ever get into arguments. And honestly, in 5-6 years I've been watching badminton here, I have not seen a single argument. I'm not saying that they always agree all the time, but it seems they're so mellow, easygoing about it, and so polite, with each other that whatever just is sorted out. I mean, the coaches will kind of roam around and to check on things, keep an eye on things, but really it's self-reporting scores here. That's how it works. Steven was talking about, if it'd be fun to have a cross-sport badminton match between, say, the badminton team and football. And while I think that would be entertaining intentionally and unintentionally for many reasons, that gives us our segue to football. ELAC alum Max Iheanachor, who is right now, he just finished his senior year at Arizona State, and he is in line to be drafted. Probably the first Husky since, what did I look at, 2010, since 2010, to be drafted into the NFL.
Months ago before the draft, it's looking like low first round, high second round.
Right, right.
Definitely going to be a draft. Obviously, a lot to go with a month to see what that happens.
Yeah, so depending on how teams situate themselves in the final
But at the bare
draft
minimum,
picking,
early second day draft, that would be absolutely incredible.
yeah. So late first, early second, they're absolutely incredible. Probably the highest Husky drafted on record.
I've seen one mock draft to the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen another to that blue team in New York. I think the Giants, I think they're called.
Blue team in New York is cute, real cute. No, but the Giants are in need of offensive line help, and so other teams And, you know, we covered Max's story here. He did not play football in high school. The coaches got a hold of him sometime after high school. Coach Godinez took one look at him and said, "Hey, listen, I think if you trust me to play football, try football, you can play on Sundays." And Max trusted him, and he ended up transferring to Arizona State, and he had an excellent career at Arizona State.
And he goes to show you, you don't need to start out at USC or Alabama. Just go to JC now. Build your way up to get that D1 scholarship and then move on.
And that's the thing. That's our big goal is to get the guys transferred on. Of course, D1 is the gold standard, is the gravy on top, and really the cherry on top of the cherry on top of the cherry is if we get a player that can, yeah, the cherry on top of it, yeah, do the calculation on that. The cherry on top of the cherry on top of the cherry is if we get fortunate to have a player go pro, and so the Iheanachor being uh, projected to be in late first, early second round is a big deal for us. And you'll start to hear more about it as Steven looks for a marker board, a whiteboard to continue doing his calculations. As he keeps telling me, math was not the biggest thing when he went to Long Beach State for his master's program. So while we're here, let's go into around the horn a little bit with baseball and softball. Softball having a renaissance season. 20 games in, they are 14. Excuse me, not 20. I don't know why it says 20 games. But 22 games in, they are 14-8. It's their best record since 2020, which was the COVID short season. And really, a lot of their success starts with their pitcher, Nadine Gutierrez, who is having an outstanding season. Gonna try and get some stats up for you while we'll quote the statistical leaders here on the 3C2A website. And for pitching, Gutierrez is fourth in the state in wins. That's 13 wins, tied for third, actually. Strikeouts, she leads the state in strikeouts, 120 strikeouts in 18 games. So it's really her pitching. Now you got some improved hitting for the Huskies as well. But really, it's really the pitching that Gutierrez has really propped this team up. I mean, all they really would have to do is go. I would think maybe if they could get say maybe 11 wins in the conference, it's land somewhere in the mid-20s in total win. That should definitely get them a playoff seed. I mean, first time since at least 10 years in softball will make the playoffs. So let's see how they do. They are on the road this week. They'll play at LA Harbor tomorrow. And just to check out their schedule real quick while we're talking. They play at Harbor tomorrow, and then they go to Rio Hondo. So those are two winnable games against teams at the bottom of the conference before next Tuesday when they have to go to Cerritos, play Cerritos in Long Beach. Huskies do have one win against Long Beach, which is important. Will help RPI as you're looking at the Huskies competing in what I think is the best softball conference in the state, South Coast Conference. Your top four teams are all the top ranked. They're in the top 20 rankings of the state. Meanwhile, baseball's been a bit of a struggle. They're 8-14 right now. They're up at the Allen Hancock Classic, the annual trip up north of Allen Hancock. Bottom of the first is no score. Whereas the ELAC softball pitching has been the big story for a lot of their success. Unfortunately for baseball, the pitching has been the large part of the story for their struggles. The team ERA has struggled mightily, particularly first half of the season, and just hope that they can figure out a way to get it turned around. Because after they finish Allen Hancock this week, they had a game today, tomorrow, and Friday. They get the weekend off and they'll come back here Tuesday to host Mount Sat. So no rest for the road weary pack of dogs. So that's baseball for you. But as you can see here, we've got doubles action right now between the teams. But for us, we're gonna sign off. And thank you for watching in and tuning in to another episode of our podcast. A little unorthodox being that we're not in our little studio, that we're on location. But
You know,
next time,
nice to get on the road a little bit. You might
yeah,
say, and do a fun.
a little bit, as you know, we try to test out our recording capabilities away from our home base, and we'll see you guys next
Good job,
time.
Jeremy.
Thank you, Steven. We'll see you guys next time. Go ahead, Steven.
Peace out.
Okay. But the right way to do it is deuce. See you guys next time. Go on.